CMCC Warriors Drum and Bugle Corps won 7th place out of over 150 drum corps at DCI World Championships 1970. They were one of several all-African American drum corps. Harold Craig Barber writes in his article, African American Drum and Bugle Corps Then and Now, I can only imagine what it must to have been like for African American drum corps to venture and compete in areas where they likely weren't even welcomed before and during our country's civil rights movement, not to mention those individuals who tried to integrate drum corps when there was no welcome mat out for African American kids. Good morning. Today's video is quite different from the usual content. I'm sure most of you are aware of the current events concerning Mr. George Floyd, who tragically lost his life due to a white police officer kneeling directly on his neck for almost 10 minutes during an arrest and sadly ending his life, which triggered outrage throughout the country and a movement to end oppression, racism, and police brutality. And I will be showing my support for this cause by donating all of the money earned on this video through the ads. So you can help with this by disabling your ad block and watching at least 31 seconds into the ad breaks. And you can also make a direct donation if you would rather do that. I will leave the links in the description. So I honestly did not know that there were all African American drum corps that competed in Drum Corps International. And I'm guessing most of you didn't know that either. I mean, there really isn't that much information out there about them. I'm just reading off of Mr. Barber's article here. He says that a lot of these drum corps are from inner city New York, and most of them do not exist anymore except for a few. He names Spirit of Newark, Quest, and Brooklyn Cadets are still currently active as of when this article was written in 2007. So if you are interested in the history of all African American drum corps in Drum Corps International, I will leave the link to this article in the description. And yeah, I can't even begin to imagine what some of these African American kids had to go through when they were touring, because segregation, that was just abolished recently. This video we watched was from 1970. These corps were around in the 60s and the early 50s. So yeah, that must have been quite an experience. Now, in all my years, marching and teaching high school band and drum corps, I honestly can't remember any instances of racism. Now, I didn't become BFFs with every single person that I marched with. I don't know if some people were racist and I just didn't know it. I just remember that racism never was brought up or seemed to be an issue or prevented us from succeeding in any way when we were marching. And the thing I love about, the band community is that we are some of the most open-minded and just accepting people that I've ever encountered. And I do think that positivity is very contagious, so hopefully all of you drum corps folk will keep up that kind of attitude. So here's a list of all the groups I marched and all the schools that I went to, and these all happen to be primarily white institutions, PWIs. And yeah, anyone who watched my attempts to review Drumline the movie, yeah, you probably already know that. So there are basically two different styles of drumline. You got your core style drumlines and your show style drumlines. So the core style is what I am very, very familiar with, and core style is highly influenced by military precision and visually influenced mostly by classical dance. Now, show style is most commonly associated with HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities, and that has a high influence of pop culture, both in the music and also in the visual and choreography. And it is always interesting to see, sometimes how the two styles, very different as they are, sometimes they can affect each other. A good example of this is Norfolk State University. They are an HBCU band, but there is definitely a lot of DCI influence in this playing, and it is very obvious to me. Now, what about core style, though? Do HBCU show style bands influence that at all? In my experience, a little bit, not very much, to be honest. And that kind of sucks, because, core style, we're trying to all be different and, be at the next level. And it seems like the pop culture influence utilized in show style bands, that is often overlooked by core style designers. And I think that we could possibly be missing a serious opportunity there. And that goes both for just separating what you're doing from the competition, but also just being, generally entertaining to an audience. And I got a pretty good analogy here, a sports analogy, actually. Hold on, wait 1 second. Yeah, I needed to put my sports ball shirt on for this one, very appropriate. Mixed martial arts includes several fighting styles, including wrestling, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, boxing, Muay Thai, Taekwondo, and karate. Now, this sport has become extremely popular over the last 10 years, and is mostly because, the combination of all these fighting styles, it takes a lot of technical skill to master most of these, and it's very interesting to see who can be the best at it. Now, I think corps-style marching can also apply this concept, without being all, bloody and beat up and all that. Like I said before, the visual package is very highly influenced by, classical dancing, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with that style, it's just that, well, it seems like every group is doing that style. I think it would be cooler if some groups decided to use some show style and pop culture visual techniques in their program. And there has been quite a few WGI groups who have done that. And honestly, these are some of the most memorable parts of any of the shows I've watched. And I'm going to show some clips right now. So yeah, some pretty cool stuff right there. Highly influenced by pop culture. It makes it very unique and different. Also brings me to the next point, the entertainment factor. Now, obviously, all these core style groups competing in DCI, WGI, DCA, they all want to score high and impress the judges. Which that's all well and dandy for your high educated people in this activity, but I feel like we're losing a lot of just your general audience member.
Oh my god, you do Drumline in that movie?
No, what we do is way cooler and technical. Here, let me show you a video. Okay, wait. Here's my I&E solo. Yeah, you're gonna like this one.
Oh yeah, that's cool, I guess. I kind of like the movie better.
So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, show style is definitely way more entertaining than core style, to, just your general audience member. And I've kind of learned that, being a YouTuber also. And I mean, I don't do, show style, but I do edit myself marching through walls, and I like to just be generally goofy and entertaining sometimes. Little known fact here, I actually auditioned for America's Got Talent back in 2015. Yeah, I went to the freaking place and stood in line for 4 hours, and then played this insane tenor solo, and impressed the crap out of everyone. But yeah, I never got a call back to the next round, and I kind of wasn't really expecting to. I knew what I was doing was really good, but I feel like it's, even with all the visuals and craziness, it wasn't impressive enough to just a general audience member. But recently I saw that Malik Dope Drummer. He made it through to the live round, and I believe he is the first solo marching drummer to do this. So yeah, Malik, not only does he have really good drumming chops, he's got the dancing nailed down, which definitely makes it more generally entertaining. And I really do hope he does well in this contest. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully I brought up some good thought-provoking points. Compose a comment and let me know what you think of them. And who knows, maybe I'll start incorporating more HBCU-influenced show-style drumming into my videos. I'm gonna need to work on that though. Also, don't forget to click that subscribe button and ring that Liberty Bell and click that like button. And also consider buying a custom t-shirt such as this one. I will leave that link in the description. And have a good morning.